Economists' Untold Secrets. Disproving elasticity pricing. Elasticity. Elasticity is defined as the percentage change of a quantity over the percentage change in price, or the price-quantity ratio combined with the inverse of slope. Variance elasticity pricing theory. Given a demand function, one can derive its corresponding total revenue and marginal revenue functions. Set MR equal to C to obtain a negative relation between price and the absolute value of elasticity. That is, given C, an inelastic demand corresponds to a higher price, while an elastic consumer may enjoy a lower price. The practice of charging different prices for the same product is called price discrimination, but the seller must have monopoly power. Varian's example. Varian used two demand functions to illustrate his theory. D2 is more elastic. These are the corresponding marginal revenue functions. Given a constant marginal cost of 20, on MR equals C, Q1 equals 40, Q2 equals 30. Then, the monopolistic prices are P1 equals 60, P2 equals 35. Finally, elasticity 1 equals 60 over 40 equals 1.5, elasticity 2 equals 35 over 30 times 2 equals 2.33. The negative relation between monopolistic price and elasticity seems to confirm Varian's theory. However, another elastic D2 may result in a higher monopolistic price to overturn Varian's theory. Defeating Varian. When the demand function is a straight line, the monopolist price must be half of A plus C. Here is the proof. Given a demand function, its marginal counterpart must be twice as steep. The equalization of MR with C leads to the optimal quantity. Substitute the optimal quantity back to the demand function to obtain the optimal price, half of A plus C. Thus, P1 equals 60 and P2 equals 35. When price has nothing to do with elasticity, Varian was defeated by his own example. Defeating Varian 2. Linear demand has destroyed his theory. Perhaps, nonlinear demand is more suitable for Varian. For example, given C equals 0.1, elasticity equals negative 1.1 corresponds to P equals 1.1, while elasticity equals negative 3.0 to P equals 0.15. However, when the demand is inelastic, the resulting price is negative. That is impossible. In particular, inelastic demand is the most important part of the monopoly theory. Elasticity has ruined Varian's elasticity theory completely. Replacing elasticity. Fortunately, there is a substitute. This is the profit function of a baker employing eggs, Q, to produce cake, K. P and M are their respective prices. The baker operates with a production function, where alpha is the input efficiency coefficient. Substitute the production function to update the profit function. Differentiate profit with respect to Q to obtain this demand function, which is a negative function of P. The power term of P is the price elasticity of demand. Rearrangement leads to a substitute for Varian's perplexed combination. Given C, monopolistic price is inversely related to the efficiency coefficient. No more ambiguity. As long as alpha lies between 0 and 1, in particular, alpha equals 0.5 corresponds to a linear supply. Varian's elasticity theory should be renamed the efficiency coefficient theory. Defeating Varian 3. The efficiency coefficient restores Varian's pricing ability. but it also exposes the ugly side of his theory. For example, when an inefficient bakery already demands fewer eggs, a drastic increase in egg price by this policy will drive it out of business. For an efficient bakery, a small increase in price will reduce its quantity demanded substantially. Correspondingly, the revenue that the monopoly can plunder also shrinks or disappears. But whose revenue is this? The foolish monopolist. Varian's monopolist wants to appropriate a portion of her buyer's revenue PQ. But PQ is not the baker's revenue from buying eggs, let alone his profit. Since PQ is the money the baker is about to pay her, the monopolist is actually robbing her own money, having first reduced her stash. The foolish monopolist too. Monopolist pricing is foolish enough, but discrimination pricing will be even worse. If the monopolist really sets two prices, the baker will buy eggs at the lower price and sell them at the higher price, regardless of his demand or elasticity. If he can sell back to the seller, the monopolist may go bankrupt. Some green power companies in Taiwan buy cheaper electricity at night and sell it back higher to the monopolist during the day, leading to the latter's loss of 200 to 300 billion every year. After the United States refused to let the dollar devalue to reflect its spending during World War I, it suffered the consequences of depleted gold reserves and an economic depression. When it took Keynes's suggestion to establish the Bretton Woods system after World War II, the same crisis happened again, and the United States lost more than half of its gold reserves. It was not until 1971 that Richard Nixon put an end to this absurd drama. Many other countries also practice dual exchange rates, only to result in more capital flight and further poverty.